Good evening. Hi everybody. My name is Tema Madima. Welcome to BackChat, proudly hosted by Backtrack. We've got an exciting guest this evening. We've got Akani Simbine who will be joining us. So we're going to have a very interesting chat this evening. I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited about this one. Akani Simbine will be hopping on and we're going to have a good chat going. Joe Loving, I see you. Heroine, I see you. Bianca, Courtney, Mpo, Liko Kota. As more people are joining, we're just gonna get started soon as well. So make sure to send your questions. If you have any questions that you want to send or anything that you want us to chat about, make sure to send us your questions. Hello everybody. And we're gonna have a very interesting chat. We've got Akani Simbine joining us this evening. So we'll do a nice introduction to him as well. Just waiting for him to log on and then we're gonna get going. Rebellious Nolo. Bevan, I see you. Jane Tipo, all the way from New Zealand, I see you. Clarence Munyai. And Simbine has also joined us. So let me just give him a BackChat. I'm your host, Tema Madima, and this evening we'll be chatting to Akani Simbine. It's going to be an exciting one. My brother.
What's happening, my brother?
What's good, my brother?
I'm easy. How are you?
Hey, you always have your water. Hey, you stay hydrated. Eh?
Hey, man, you gotta always stay hydrated now. Drink your water, mind your own business.
Hey, you know, water and winter, man, they don't mix, man. Hey, I've had enough of this thing today, bro.
Nah, bro, they mix. It's just you gotta just drink it when you can, man. I always just drink water at night. It's the best time to drink.
All right. I see you, man. How you doing otherwise?
I'm doing good, man. I'm tired. Had like a rough session. Well, rough week actually, but I'm doing really good. I'm in a good space, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. And you, how are you?
Nah, it is what it is, man. We're keeping positive. Training has been good as well, you know. As we on the road, so as long as the roads are open, man, we were pushing that mileage, pushing the hills, and also just keeping busy with new ventures here and there, you know, man.
Yeah, I see you with the boxes even though.
Yeah, I hope it's been holding you well as well, man.
Yeah, for real, man. We've been using them, so shout out for that, bro.
Big up. All right, we're gonna get started, man. I'm sure everybody's interested to hear what we're gonna be chatting about today. But it's gonna be just a chat, man, where we get behind, you know, behind the scenes a bit, you know. We're gonna talk about motivation, life, professionalism. It's just, you know, just gonna be a casual chat. Make sure, guys, send your questions through. You guys are as part of this chat as we are. So the more questions you send, we're gonna ask Akani Simbine. This is your chance. Eh? On the track, this man is always in the zone. So here now he's relaxed, he's chilled, he's got his water. So make sure you send your question. All right, I'm gonna start with an intro. You know, we always do an intro. Monday I was chatting to Zola, but hey Simbine, my brother.
Oh.
I don't think that weekend I slept, man. I was like, Zola Bad.
Hey, bro, that's a legend. The name is powerful.
Powerful, man. I mean, but yeah, it was cool, man, to see how down to earth she was and to hear what she had to say. Is like it's so. I mean, it's mind blowing to hear that, you know, sometimes we idolize these people and we forget the human beings, you know. And I'm sure with you as well, there's a lot of people here that are like, hey, Simbine is actually a normal human being. Because you've done some amazing things in your time, man. So let me get to it.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Akani Simbine, South African 100-meter record holder, Africa's fastest man, former SA Junior 100-meter record holder, 150-meter joined SA record holder, Commonwealth Games 100-meter gold medalist, Olympic Games finalist, World Championships 2 times finalist, World University Games gold medalist, 3-time SA champion, Tsonga man with power. Ladies and gentlemen, Akani Simbine.
I like that last part. Talk a man with power.
That's something a little special for you there, man.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro.
I always say, like right now, there's only 4 Tsongas that I know that are, like Papa Penny is up there, Shoma Josie, Iya,
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Nyekane,
Yes, sir.
Akani Simbini. I'll add number
Sir.
5, my mother, and that's it.
There you just finished it. You topped it.
That's my top 5, man. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get started, we're going to play a game, man. It's called 30 Seconds. So this one is just to get your mind racing a bit, and then we're going to get into the questions that everybody wants to ask and so on. Oh, Mr. Werner Prinsley, we see you, sir. That's big coach over there. Divan Filioun, Snoopy, Low, Emil Peterson, we see you. Thanks for joining, guys. Clarence Munyai. Did I mention him already? Yeah, I did. So yeah, so the game is called 30 Seconds. Very simple. I've got 30 seconds on my watch over here. Let's see if you'll break any more records. So how it works, I give you 30 seconds. You name as much things as possible that you have inside your training bag or competition bag. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Count each item. Let's go.
My spikes, my bodysuit, my bib, my pins, my water, my headphones, my MP3, my towel,
go.
Snacks,
Let's
my
go.
phone. I don't know what else is in my bag. That's what's in my bag.
Time. 10. Okay, 10. 10 is all right, man. 10 is okay. It looks like that record is going to stay for long, man. Talent Build is on like 14 or 15. It's sitting strong, man.
But I feel like she has a lot of things in her bag. Like, I don't know if you're going to use all those things,
Hey, man. She named them. They were in her bag. So what must I say, At least you've got your spikes in there, so you're covered, man.
Hey, bro, I have to have my spikes. I've gone to a session with Johan and Usain with no spikes, so I'm always gonna make sure I have my spikes with me.
You learned your lesson, huh?
Yeah, big time.
Kurt Kuto, we see you. Isaac Makwala, big up, guys, for joining. Bucky Sipeng, I see you. So, guys, make sure please send out your questions. Send out all your questions that you want us to chat about. But before and yeah, as we go, we're gonna add those into the conversation. But let me get us started, man. So obviously, there's so many things to talk about, man. I think you've just reading your CV. I think sometimes you might also forget some of those things that you've achieved them, But like just hearing them again is like, what did that make you feel like, man? How did you feel like hearing all those things again? And I know obviously some of them you forget, and sometimes they fall down on your priority list, but you've achieved them. There's more that I could have said, but I mean, I think those ones like stick out the most,
Yeah, I think for me it's humbling, because I wasn't trying to be a professional runner. I just fell into it and it kind of chose me. And as soon as I opened up myself to it and I allowed myself to grow in it, I started, achieving so much, in my first year, not even first year of being a professional, like in my first year in university, I went and I broke the essay record, and I was just like 2 years, 2.5 years, or 3 years into being in that athletic world.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing to see that I've actually come so far in such a short time, and it excites me so much that I can grow into the sport. I can become bigger than what I actually thought I would be when I was actually getting into the sport, you know, and things that I've achieved, man. It's for me, I look back to it and I think, okay, I've done this, you know, and I want to just make those achievements prouder by
Yeah, yeah,
achieving more.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy, man. I think about it because, like, I was thinking of the what is it, the first race where, the magic, I call it the magic race, man, where you and
Mm.
Simon Mahakwe like pushed each other to the first
Yeah.
top 10 race,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just standing there with the camera, and I think that day everybody could just feel something's gonna happen. We could all
Yeah.
feel it. Just tell us, man, how was that day? How was that day? We've documented it. We've had a video, and we've done a lot of things on that as well. But just tell us, how do you feel, man, being on the line or just being there on the day?
Yeah, man. And you know, for me, that day was like it was a day where I had to put my foot forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I didn't step out that day, I don't think I'll be where I am today. And
Mm,
um I knew that day that I was firing, and I knew Simon was also firing, but I told myself, okay, Simon is the SA champ. He
yeah.
is, at that time, he was the sixth time or seventh
Hey,
time, or I don't know how many times
hey, a lot.
Simon was champ, man, because, he just came into that whole thing of like, Simon Mahakwe, and Simon Mahakwe is going to bring his A game.
Yeah,
And it was at Tux. We all know Tux is his fast track. Even the red track was still fast.
yeah, yeah,
And I just believed in myself, and I said, okay, I know there's Roscoe and there's all these other guys that are racing there. And I said to myself, you know what? It's time now. Let me just show up.
mm,
And the gun went off and we pushed each other to the line, and
the
I
line.
remember running in that race and I was telling myself, you know what? Um, Simon Makakwe is Simon Makakwe in South Africa, but I want to be Akani Simbine of South Africa. And
Mm,
it's time for me to show up.
yeah.
And I guess at that young age, I showed up.
Hey, you showed up, man.
Yeah.
You showed up good, man. I mean, I mentioned that race because that race was like, it changed everything, man. It literally changed South African athletics forever. Like, what we've been able to achieve. I say we, as if I've been running this time, but I'm South African, man. I'm like, I'm proudly South African. When you stand on the line, you must know that we stand there with you, man. We're as nervous as you are. We it's
Yeah.
we, because it's South Africa end of the day, man, and this is our country, and we love it so much. So what you guys are doing and what you've done, man, it like really like we walk proud in the world, and that's big up to you guys. And it's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes that people don't always know or even see.
Yeah. But Timber, like we we step out on the track, we go out and perform, we go out and represent everyone, we go out and represent our South African followers, our South African, you know, fans and fans all
Yeah,
over the world. But I think for us, when we step on the track, it's more of you need to step up for yourself and make yourself proud, because if you make
yeah.
yourself proud, you you're gonna end up making your supporters proud and your nation
Mm,
proud, because some people don't get this, but
mm,
your like for me, my dreams and my goals are bigger than the goals that a fan or a supporter would have set for
yeah.
myself, you
Must
know?
be. It must be. Yeah.
And what you are seeing and what you want from me, I receive it, but I know that that is gonna add to the elevation of what I'm looking towards.
Yeah.
So when I step on the track, people say, yeah, you want me to win, you want me to win. I also want to win, but there's still that African record, that SA record,
Yeah. Yeah.
that chasing the top 10 all fastest men in the world in the history of 100 meters. There's so many things that you set for yourself that you want to achieve,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing to be able to put yourself in that state and put yourself in that place to actually say, okay, there's my opportunity to do this now. This is a goal that I've set for myself, and here's the opportunity. Let me try go for it, and let me attempt to go for it. And if I fail, I can try again. If I fail again, I'll try again. But it doesn't mean I need to stop if I fail, you know.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's the thing that, you know, like, obviously watching from the outside, you know, exactly what you're saying. The goals that you've set for yourself. I mean, some these are probably things that you don't even mention publicly. I'm sure some of these things are like, people are like, hey, you know, what's going on in your mind, you know?
Yeah.
But I think there's certain dreams and goals that I believe, you know, certain things you keep to yourself, you keep it to your team, you know, you keep it to those who are gonna help you get there practically. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the fans and supporters, they'll. I mean, you know how, I mean, with soccer it's even worse. I mean, you support Chelsea, I support
They're
Manchester.
playing now, bro.
Hey, dog, I'm sorry. I know I was gonna say, but this is your time. You selected
Yeah,
the team.
nah. It's all good. It's all good.
So my team did the job, you know what I mean? But what I was trying to get to is, like, you know, as supporters or fans, you know, when Manchester United loses, I can have a problem with them as a fan or a supporter. And it's not a personal one, you know, it's because I want them to win. You know, Chelsea, I remember Chelsea, I don't know how many decades ago when you guys were good, when Drogba was, oh, wait a minute. I mean, when Drogba was leading
Decades, bro.
Let's leave the soccer out of this, yeah?
Hey man, you know, if we get into the soccer chat, we won't finish.
All right, yeah. So it's just a matter of, you know, people on the outside they look at you as fans, you know, and obviously certain disappointments that they would have as fans, you know, and there's certain, when you on your highs, they're also with your highs. But what I'm getting at is that your team are the only people who have practical, they've got steps, and everything that they work towards is towards getting you to your goal and your dreams and your achievement. So I think that's like probably one of the most important thing that I'm hearing from what you're saying as well, you know?
Definitely, you know, your inner circle needs to go with what you are trying to achieve. Like for me, I set my own goals. I set my goals that I want to achieve in the year,
Yeah.
and I will tell coach, I'll be like, okay, you know what, that's what I want to achieve this year, and he'll be like, you know, um, I also have kind of goals for you, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
tell you yet, and I know what if we work well this year, and I know what you can achieve, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Wow.
Like it kind of gives me an angle of where he's headed to, you know,
That's good.
and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and to have my coach say he set a goal for me and have myself say, okay, I've set a goal for myself. And then I can be like, okay, coach believes in me like this. And he believes
yeah,
that means he believes in the work that he's planned for me and the work that we're going to
yeah.
do is going to get me to a certain level that he feels like it. And then I go, okay, on top of that, I feel like I can go higher than what he has set up for me, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it just kind of keeps you pushing as an individual and keeps you saying, okay, let me keep on striving for more. And, you know, saying, you know, when I talk to my girlfriend about, okay, this is what I want to do. And I'm really like serious about this. And she'll be like, okay, you know what? She believes in it and she backs me. And I
Mm,
appreciate that. It's the same with my family, you know, and they support me through and through. So it's just having your circle and making sure that your circle understands what you're trying to achieve, and your circle
yeah,
always kind of pushes you to achieve what you want to achieve.
absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna look for some questions here. I know there's a few questions that people are already asking. I don't wanna uh, get in trouble for not taking any questions. I see Speedy Japa says, shout out to the goat. Man. I think Meh is what the sound of the goat. What else do we have here?
I'm actually laughing
uh,
because my girlfriend calls me goat.
oh, the goat. What else we have here? I see Cheswell Johnson. Big up for joining, guys. Thanks for joining. JD says, you're the best, Akani. Do your best. God will do the
Appreciate
rest.
that, man.
We see
Appreciate
some
it.
hearts from Joe Loving. Your lady supporting there.
Of course.
Um, What else? Yeah. Okay. I wanna move to what you were talking about. I'll take other questions later. About when you spoke about your coach pushing and so on. What type of relationship? I'm always like interested in like the relationship you have with like your coach. I think it's sometimes it's a relationship that's it's taken lightly, and it's not always it's not always recognized for the significance it plays. So it'll be nice to hear from you, like what type of relationship you have with your coach.
So my coach and I, we come a long way. Like she's been my coach since day one,
Yeah, yeah.
and um, we've had our ups and our downs. It's like he's kind of my mentor, and he's
Mm,
kind of someone that I look up to, and someone that I want to learn from, and I want to take so many traits from, because he's such an amazing person and such
yeah.
an amazing guy that I can literally just talk to him and be like, Coach, this is a situation. I need your advice.
Mm,
Outside of track,
the track, yeah.
and we can literally sit down and talk and be like, okay, this is what he thinks, this is what I think. And I think it's very important as an athlete to have a relationship with your
Yeah.
coach where you're able to talk about anything, because track becomes your world, and with that
Mm,
becoming your world, it means your coach also becomes your world, and you
yeah,
you
yeah.
you you spend so much time with your coach. You get to know him, he gets to know you. Like, I can go to a session upset and not say anything, and the coach will know, okay, he's not he's not
100.
he's not 100%. And
Yeah, yeah.
like, if it's like a really hard session, you'll be like, okay, you'll ease it down a bit, because he knows, okay, like something is up, but
Mm,
sometimes you'll also be like, okay, let's talk, what's happening, like, are you okay, what's going on?
mm,
So it's very important to have that relationship with your coach, and just put yourself in a position where you and your coach can move forward together, because um my coach and I, when we started, we didn't know a thing about professional athletics,
yeah.
and we we were growing together. I remember, like, years ago, man, when I used to, like, every year when we start, I used to go to coach and be like, Coach, did you ever think we were gonna get like this? Did you ever think we were gonna turn pro? Like, you know, and it's
Started from the bottom.
yeah, and to think, like, thinking about that now, and I'm even like thinking to myself, like, did I ever think I would get here? And still be with the same coach. Some athletes keep
Yeah,
changing coaches, and that works for them. But this formula has worked for me. This formula
absolutely.
has
Yeah,
put me in a place where I am the one of the fastest men in the world, top five fastest men in the world.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
I've been that since 2016. You know, and it's it's not just me. You know, it's the work my coach puts in, it's the work my team
mm-hmm.
puts in.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, being an athlete, and being blessed the way I've been blessed, I've been able to grow my team, from just having a coach to having a strength and conditioning trainer, a
mm-hmm.
physiotherapist, a psychologist, and being able to see a dietitian, being able to have my own doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the things, that the puzzles, the little things that you put together to become a
Yeah,
professional athlete. And these are the things that I saw going through, starting off as a professional, a young
yeah,
professional,
yeah.
going to meets, looking at these guys like, oh, this is this guy, and seeing what they do. But
Yeah,
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I was able to like, being thrown into, like, the deep end, and said and told, okay, swim.
yeah.
My manager has literally took me and said, okay, you're going to Europe, and you're gonna race. I raced, and I learned a lot of things.
I think it's so beautiful because like sometimes I always say like even what we did with Backtrack, it almost feels like there's not a single thing we can do wrong because everything we're doing nobody's ever done before. You know what I mean? In South
Mm,
Africa,
mm,
and I think you're like on a very similar path where you are. Obviously, there have been people before you, but the way you've put a team together and the way you're doing it, is it's different. You know, we're almost seeing what a professional 100-meter sprinter should look like. You mentioned your own team doctor, your biokineticist, etc., etc. You know, and it's a team. I mean, there's probably more behind the scene. There's the agents, there's the managers, etc., etc. And you know, seeing that for a young South African out there, for them it changes. You had to do it from scratch. You know, you were watching and learning like, okay, you know, and somebody can actually through this chat, or even maybe if they get a chance to get into your space whenever, you know, they can learn this and make better decisions going forward, which is what it's all about, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like track and field is always, let me say life, you're always learning. But you know,
Yeah,
with track and field, it's it's just that experience where, you know, I want to share with someone, I want to share with the upcoming kids, you know, and
mm,
I'm very hard on like the younger kids, you know, and when I see them like acting out and doing things that are not going to benefit your career, it
yeah,
frustrates me because I'm just like, dude, like don't act like this, you know. But
mm,
I can't decide that for you. I can say, okay, you know, just rather look at doing something like this. But
mm,
you know, at the end of the day, they choose themselves what they want to do, you know. And um, at the end of the day, when I retire, like for me, I want to be able to look back and be like, okay, you know, I played a part in another a
yeah,
the younger generation, you know, and you know,
yeah,
at least I was able to say, okay, you know, I had a chat with him, and you know, he listened, and
yeah,
look back and look at him and be like, okay, he's grown into something so amazing. He's grown into, you know, one of the fastest men in the world, or the longest jumper, the highest jumper, the longest thrower in the world, you know, and
yeah, yeah,
to be able to motivate the youngins to come out and be better, that's that will be it for me.
yeah, man. No, you already. I mean, like just the way you're living already is motivating, and definitely that time is gonna come. But for now, man, we need you to bring back more medals.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
man. That's for real.
JP, I see you. Who's this? Ditiro Sharm Rock. Ask Akani why he doesn't run 200 in the world champs. Wanna take that question?
So I ran 200 in, when was it? Like I think
15.
2015, Beijing.
Yeah. Huh?
Beijing. Yeah, it was Beijing. Yeah, it was Beijing 14. Yeah, it was, no, I ran Commonwealth Games first, and then I ran Com Games, the 200,
I
and
remember that.
then the Beijing champs, the 200, and then it was Olympics that year, and I was forcing coaches like, yo, coach, I want to go 100 and 200. Coach was like, nah, fam, you're not gonna do that. Our focus is the 100 meters, and I'm grateful that he did that. You know, I'm grateful
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he kept me in line towards the actual important goal, which was the 100 meters, because we hadn't
yeah.
been working towards the 200 meters. And um, it was last year, I think. Last year, I said, yes, the coach says 2017.
Ah,
What did I do
17.
in 2017? Ah, yeah, I did London Champs, London Champs, yeah.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, 20.
So,
Thanks, Coach Werner.
so I remember saying to coach, you know, like let's try like this year. This year was my comeback year for the 200. I
Mm.
was gunning for it. You know, I told coach, you know what, I'm doubling up at Olympics this year. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna make finals for both. And coach was like, okay, you know what, let's make a deal. He gave me a time. If he said, if you run this time in the 200, I will let you go for. We'll work for the 200 meters for Olympics. But if you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
we stay on the 100. So, so yeah, it's like
Hey,
that's my 200 story. But I'm you know, I'm looking forward to going back to it and running it, because I started enjoying it, man. I started enjoying it, and like coach started throwing in that longer training, and I started enjoying the longer stuff when I started like knowing how to run it. Because you know, you need to know how to run the longer
Yeah.
distances. If you don't know
Hey.
how to run the longer distances, you just blast from the get-go, you'll die. And no one likes to lactate. So
Hey. Hey.
that lactic
Nobody.
is painful, man.
All right, I'm gonna take some more questions. There's a few. Somebody asked, which athlete are you closest to in SA?
I'd say like um Enrico, Simon Kurt, yeah, man.
All right.
Wade.
And what high school did you go
Yeah.
to?
I went to Eden Glen High School. It's in the East Rand in Joburg. Well, not Joburg, Kimpton Park, Edenvale sides.
Okay. And then I'm just running through some of these questions because I see there's a few. We're not gonna get to them, you know. Here's a nice
Yeah.
one here. It says, yeah, I wanted to know. Okay, before let me just take one more question. Well, it says here, what motivates you? That's a very important question. What motivates
Um,
Akani Simbine every single
what
day?
motive? My dreams and my goals, and knowing what I want to achieve from the sport, and knowing what I want to get out of it, and knowing the end goal, and seeing, like, I have a vision of when I, you know, run my last race, what I want to look back and be like, okay, I've achieved this, I've achieved this, I've achieved this. So always looking forward to that, and always just trying to be better, because you wake up every day, you have an opportunity to be better. You wake up every day, you have an opportunity to take a step forward and not a step back, you
Yeah,
know, and and that's the very important thing, that's something that I think a lot of people should, look towards. So it's I think that's what motivates me the most, it's just being able to set your goals and work towards your goals and know your goals are achievable. You won't just have an image in your head and say this thing is not achievable. The greatest
yeah, yeah,
things in the world that have been created were just figments of the imagination, and they
yeah,
became physical, like the phones that we are using, TV, and now it's done and they became successful. So why can't you do it? What's different about you? Because they're human and you're
yeah.
human.
All right, man. There's gonna be more. Yeah, there's gonna be. We're not gonna get all the questions. Maybe I'll take another one or two. Yo, it feels like I'm like an administrator here. I'm like managing your questions here. But a question I wanted to ask:
Yo, big
you've got
stove.
nicknames. What's your nickname, man? Nickname. Nicknames
um,
change, but what's that one nickname that you go to?
um, my nickname Aki. So everybody just call
Aki.
me. My close people call me Aki, and then there's people who call me AK-47. People call me, yes, people call me AK. Man, I at AGN this year I heard a new one. They call me Ntimbi Simbine. I'm like, eh? This one is new now. Like, I didn't know this one. Like, yo, but it has a
I've
ring to it.
never heard
Ntimbi.
that one.
Hey, these other guys that just like showed up to me and like, hey, can we have a picture? And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, Ntimbi Simbine. I'm like, hey, and I couldn't like understand it. Is this guy like seriously saying this, or he just said it wrong, or it just got
Hey,
mixed in translation? But yeah, bro, you're always getting nicknames, but it's the support, man, and
yeah, it's the
it's
love, man.
someone, yeah, and it's always appreciated, and it's always like, for me, I love it, and I take it, I won't not take love and support from people, because that's blessings, and we work towards
Absolutely,
blessings.
absolutely. We're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we have to wrap it up in the next 5 minutes, and I'm sure the
No
score is probably
problem.
like 2-0 by now.
What? Nah, bro, relax.
So we're gonna wrap it up, but yeah, man, there's so much that I want to talk about, and I'm sure there's everybody's got so many questions in Simbi. But we're gonna just we're gonna have to cut it somewhere. But from Backtrack side, man, I just wanna say, like, big ups to you. Thanks for, like, what you do for the sport. The way you carry yourself, your professionalism. Um, the way you always look out for the young kids, and a lot of people, man, they all look up to you, and you're approachable, even though you focus and everything. So I really believe, man, big things are coming. The way this year started, man, it was just a little taste, yeah, of what's to come. So it's just keep working hard, man. Everything you're doing is working. That's one thing you can know for sure. And yeah, I mean, keep shining, keep spreading that love all over the world. People see it, we see it, we appreciate it, and yeah, thanks for always being available when you need you as well.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. And to you guys, Backtrack, man, you guys brought track back, like literally your name to South Africa, and it's something that has been missing. As you said, you guys are the only ones doing it here, and like for me, I'm always grateful for your work that you guys do, because it's amazing to showcase South African talent. It's amazing to be able to say,
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit in Italy, or I'm gonna sit in France or wherever, and just be like, dude, like this is what's happening at home. These are the
yeah,
guys that are
yeah,
racing at home. Let's go on YouTube, go on Backtrack. I know I can show this race, and
yeah, yeah.
we're able to find it. You couldn't find that before, and now
Mm.
it's here. So now, shout out to you guys, man, and I wish you blessings and love and growth and many more, man. Just grow, man, and let's do this thing right.
Yeah, man, we need to, yeah, we're gonna keep going. Like, I always say, the stuff that you know you've been through, and the stuff you've learned, you need to pass it on. What we are doing
Yeah,
now as well, the aim is to pass it on. And I mean, the way, I look at some of the kids, what they have, man, I'm like, ish, if these things came a bit earlier in our time, I'd have a few more videos, I'd have a few more pictures, and
mm.
we knew it was missing. So for us to give it is like, it's such an honor, man. It's like, love this sport, man. I love this game. I love this
Yeah,
sport.
yeah, for real, man.
And we want the whole world to share it. And I truly believe this, man. Mark my words. I believe the future of athletics is in Africa, because I think that they're sleeping on it a bit in Europe and everywhere else in the world. So it's our time, and soon it'll be our time to take over this sport, man, and we can showcase Africa's best talent.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that joined, and everybody that's been with me through the journey, everybody that's joined on the journey, and believing in
Yeah.
me and the dreams and the goals, and and sending all love and blessings to everyone, and we'll keep going and chasing that Olympic medal and chasing that number one spot, because that's
Woo!
where we're going.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is BackChat. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we've got a youngster coming up. Big up to Mr. Akani Simbine for joining us this evening. And tomorrow,
Thank you very
for the
much.
youngster Nicole Lowe, she'll be joining us. We'll be chatting with her. We're going to keep the conversations going because it's important for South Africa. Yeah, yeah.
One
Welcome to
time.
BackChat. Proudly hosted by Backtrack. What? Welcome to BackChat. Proudly hosted by Backtrack. Cheers, guys.
Shout out to him, man.
Shout, my brother.